How about we jump into next article, which is kind of like Major Nelson's replacement in a way.
I agree. Talk about this some more. Yeah, there's an article that came out. Xbox boss Phil Spencer, you know him well. We've is the perspective of the community, I think, around Phil Spencer is certainly altering and changing a little bit. However, I think it's an interesting little interview you did. So it's coming from The Verge. Tom Warren, the GOAT, Xbox boss. I think we should have a handheld too. Was a quote from this interview.
That's what I
Phil
want to
Spencer,
hear, dude.
Phil Spencer drops biggest hint yet an
Yeah,
Xbox handheld during this. So Microsoft's Xbox chief Phil Spencer has been dropping hints about a potential Xbox handheld for months now. Earlier this year, he said he was a big fan of handhelds after linking posts on X that mentioned the possibility of this new hardware. Now, in an interview with IGN, Spencer says, I think we should have a handheld too. Oh my gosh. Is the biggest hint yet that Microsoft is working on an Xbox handheld, something that's been long rumored. The future of us in hardware is pretty awesome. The work that the team is doing around different form factors and different ways to play, I'm incredibly excited about, said Spencer. Today was about the games, but we will have time to come out and talk more about platform. Pressed on whether an Xbox handheld would stream games or play them locally, Spencer dropped a further hint that Microsoft is looking at a true handheld gaming device rather than something like a PlayStation Portal. He said, quote, I like my ROG Ally, my Lenovo Legion Go, my Steam Deck. I think being able to play games locally is really important.
yes.
Earlier this year, Spencer talked about wanting a compact Xbox mode on a handheld gaming PC. Saying, quote, I want to be able to boot into the Xbox app in a full screen, but in a compact mode. Like he said, like I want to feel like the dash of my Xbox, like the dash of my Xbox when I turn on the television, except I want it on those devices. Interesting phrasing there, Mr. Spencer. Definitely on the fly. I feel like he's like thought of that. He's like, this is kind of what I want, you know? I suspect what Microsoft is working on in the Xbox is an Xbox handheld that's Windows based, but has the ability to run Xbox games at the full Xbox dashboard. On the Vergecast earlier this year, Tom had discussed his ideal for an Xbox handheld. It would run Windows at its core, but never exposed this to you, so it looks and feels like an Xbox console. But if you want to run Steam games or Xbox games, you can. That would
Oh, that'd
require
be crazy.
Microsoft to pull off merging Xbox and Windows together in a way we haven't seen before. But with the future of Xbox looking a lot like a PC, it feels more inevitable than ever.
Bro.
We're getting a handheld mic. It's happening. It's happening.
But you know what I think is also going to happen? The crap I've been saying for the longest time that Sony should do. I've been putting a PlayStation in a Sony TV. Xbox is partnered with Samsung. I could definitely see Xbox just being like, you know what, we're gonna put an Xbox in a Samsung TV. Is what we're gonna do now. I think that's what's
uh,
gonna happen.
yeah.
He like that would be insane. He wants to feel like he's booting up the dash like an Xbox when he turns on his television. Why would he use television? You know, you don't need a television with a handheld really, unless you're like the Switch. But you don't need it.
Yeah.
The whole point of a handheld is it's a portable. Like it's portable. That's the point.
You
You
take it
don't
with
need
you.
anything
You
else.
take it with you.
Yeah. Yeah, so this could be a really good opportunity. I do agree with what Tom's saying. You said Tom Warren wrote this, yeah.
Yeah.
So Tom Warren saying this about how it's inevitable, probably because Xbox more and more is running Microsoft Windows. And the good news is with Microsoft, they definitely know how to make tablets now. I would say like the Microsoft Surface is pretty good.
Yeah.
Their laptop markets are pretty decent. Their phones aren't half bad. So they definitely have the capability to make the correct software. Now it's just a matter of getting the right hardware. And if you're like the most profitable company on the planet, like Microsoft is, you could figure it out pretty easily.
Yeah.
It's going to be a collaborative effort, but I think it's inevitable, and it gets me kind of excited.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think the sentiment too of like if Xbox is gonna make it handheld, they're gonna make it based around the ecosystem, and they're not gonna
Yes.
necessarily make it like a ROG Ally or something where it's like full Windows. It's just like it's gonna be tailored to the Xbox, experience, and it's not gonna have like the full Windows accessibility like you do with the other devices. So it's probably gonna be like you launch into a dashboard. But I think the ability to integrate like Steam games and something like that would be ideal for something like that. So if they were going to go that route of making it like we're going to keep this in Xbox ecosystem and just make it like a dedicated handheld for our stuff,
Yeah.
but also adding the capability to play Steam games on it would be huge. And I think it would kind of make it a step. It would like, I won't necessarily to make it a step above, obviously, because like other devices, you're able to play, pretty much anything that's compatible with a handheld. But I think yeah, I think especially if it's priced competitively, I mean it's a no brainer to me to have some sort of Xbox handheld that's tailored to an experience that's user friendly. I think would be super important if you're gonna do something like that. Like, I mean, the thing with these other devices, I've never really used them, but I know like with Steam Deck and stuff like that, there's obviously a Steam UI and everything, which makes it easy to interact with. But I've never used like a ROG Ally, so I don't know if it's like, I'm assuming you're not like launching into a desktop. It's just like there's probably something else.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't know. I think something like an Xbox handheld, like they keep it in that ecosystem. It could be interesting, and if they tailor it for performance on their games, like I don't know, it's inevitable and it's a no brainer. Dare I say?
Yeah, I think if it was run well, first of all, do you know if ROG Ally, Lenovo, Legion Go, or Steam Deck, or any of the other like handhelds that we've covered on this show, do any of them run Microsoft Windows like natively?
I want to say there's a couple of them do.
Yeah,
So you could like run pretty much anything that a PC can run.
That's what I'm thinking. So if Microsoft is making the handheld for the Xbox, it's like they're obviously going to use Windows, I would think.
I mean, yeah,
it's going to be like save resources by using stuff that already works, just gear it towards the handheld. That could open up a lot of avenues for modders to do whatever they want with it. Have like a jailbreak Xbox handheld that can play and do whatever. Dude, emulation's going to go so hard.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I'm thinking about too the emulation stuff, how like they were shutting down like Dolphin and all that. They didn't want Dolphin to be used on their Xboxes. Yeah, I don't know. It's like I feel like if Xbox does make a handheld like this, they're probably gonna be stingy about like running other software on it and being able to access Windows like a desktop or something like that.
But there's always a way in.
I mean, yeah. There's always a back door. Not saying there's not, but
yeah.
It may not be encouraged, I think, is my point. So I don't know. We'll see.
It's very exciting.